Do you ever feel like you've got really good content, you spent a lot of time on it, but you can't figure out why someone else ranks number one in Google while you seemingly hang there at the bottom of page three or four, maybe even page 10? But can you imagine how huge your revenue would increase if you ranked in the top three positions for your money keywords? Do you know what these other people are doing that you're not? They're building trusted links. And in this video, I'm going to be talking in layman's terms. I'm not going to give you some long-winded 30-minute lame video that ends with you having to spend money and not learning anything. I honestly hate it when these sleazy people do that. They drag you in. You think you're going to get this golden nugget. 30 minutes later, you got nothing. I'm not going to give you, or I'm going to give you step-by-step instructions on how to get real links to your website. And at the end of this video, if you choose to, you'll be able to fully and completely do this yourself. So if you want to rank on the first page of Google, then I'm going to show you how to do it right now. What you're going to learn in this video, you are going to learn all five of these, why you need links, why does Google even care? You will fully understand that like never before. You're going to learn how to build good links. You're going to learn how many links do you need to rank number one, and we'll get you a tool that will help you do that. We're going to talk about how you need to beware of these sleazeball link salesmen that literally, even if you spend a ton of money with them, they do more damage to your rankings than good. And then lastly, we'll talk about the options. Should you do it yourself? And in many cases, it might be yes. Should you do it yourself or should you outsource it to someone? All right, so let's just stop for one quick second. I know we want to get in and we want to get your questions answered right away. I promise you're not going to get a bunch of fluff. But before we get started, I honestly need to be clear. If you are building links to pages on your website that have thin, boring, or poorly written content, stop right there. Stop right here. We're not interested in teaching anyone to put the cart before the horse. The first step to any successful SEO campaign is good quality content. And if you've not already watched our video on how to easily create content that ranks on Google, then please do that first. I'll include a link on this page if you're on my website watching it. If you're on YouTube, we'll stick it in the comments. There are some extremely important lessons in that video about targeting local searches. So please don't just start this link building campaign unless you've watched our content creation video. This is not about how much money we can get out of our website visitors. This is honestly about helping you. And if you want, hopefully you can just do this yourself by the end of the video. Now, if you've been following us any time, this is the question, why listen to us? You know that we do not consider ourselves an SEO company first. That's what people who only sell SEO services are. We are a lead generation company first. Unlike other SEO companies, we've been putting our money where our mouth is for about 10 years now. We started our company as a lead capturing company. We started capturing leads and selling leads on a per lead basis. No one else is doing that. Today, we capture over 400,000 leads a year in over 100 niches. We use proven techniques, and both are quite honestly pretty simple, easy to do if you try. And yes, they take time, but as you're about to discover, they are easy to do and you can do it too. So if you already have pretty good content, assuming that as our starting point, and you're having a little trouble getting organic traffic to it, then it's time to get started on your success story. You're about to discover for yourself how easy this really is. All right, so first let's answer the important question. Why do I need links? Why does Google even care? I mean, should you be spending your money on this? Should you be spending your time on this? Well, let's answer that. In order to understand it, you first need to imagine a link, an inbound link from somebody else's website, as being what they are at their very core. Google sees links as votes, or you can call it referrals if you want. Imagine for just a moment that I own a general practice law firm. Woman walks in my office looking for a divorce lawyer. We don't offer that service. So we refer her to, let's just call him Mike Smith's law offices. My referral or vote benefits Mike Smith. In that same way, let's say my law office has a website and someone goes to my website looking for a Charlotte divorce attorney. I'm a lawyer in Charlotte, but I do not, again, offer divorce services. So instead, what I do is I put a link on my website that points to the website for Mike Smith's law office. When Google sees me linking to Mike Smith's law office, they, rightfully so, view this as a vote, one vote of confidence. Again, call it a referral if you want. So now, let's look at this on a larger scale. Remember, this one link tells Google somebody else trusts Mike Smith's website. Maybe we should give them a little bit of vote of confidence too. But let's compare two divorce attorney websites. We'll use Mike Smith's law office and call the other one Last Place Divorce Attorneys. Imagine both attorneys have a web page on their website targeting divorce lawyers. Now imagine we both have really good content. Google has to make a decision who they should rank first. And Google brilliantly looks at inbound links to help break this tie. Now think about it. There are two law offices, and let's say Mike Smith has a link, a vote pointing to his site, and the other competitor doesn't. Google will most likely rank Mike's website over the other. If other people trust and vote, if you will, for Mike's law office, Google can feel confident that Mike's law office is the best choice to be ranked first. But now let's imagine Mike Smith has 10 other trusted links pointing to his website, right? That's 10 companies giving a vote of confidence to Mike Smith's law office. But then, Last Place Divorce Attorneys gets smart. He wants to rank well too. Now he starts building links. Imagine he gets 12 links pointing to his webpage. Google's algorithms will then recalculate, and now Last Place Divorce Attorneys would potentially rank above Mike Smith's law office. And here's where it can get even more interesting. This is a very, like a 30,000 foot view, okay, guys? It's very possible with the same quality content that Mike Smith's law office can have just 10 links and still outrank Last Place Divorce Attorneys, who has 12 links. And here's why. Google not only looks at the links pointing to your web pages, right? If that's where it stopped, then sure, Mike loses by 2 links. However, Google is not just looking at the number of links pointing to his website. They are also looking at the quality of those links. So again, and rightfully so, the best way to do that is to look at how many links are pointing to those web pages that are pointing to your web pages. So imagine Mike Smith's law office only has 10 links pointing to his web page. However, those other links have tons of links from other websites pointing to their web page. Google is going to place far more value on each one of Mike's links because those links are from web pages that have more votes pointing or links pointing to them whereas last place attorneys does not have the same quality of links. So this is why you need quality links. Google can recognize a good link versus a cheesy, low quality link. If others can trust you, then Google will reward you for it. Okay, I know we spent a lot of time explaining why you need links. And I did that because we know you would not take link building very seriously if you didn't understand the very basic reason of how Google looks at links when they're ranking websites number 1 versus number 101. All right, now let's talk about what you want to hear, how you can build quality links on your own. Full disclosure, yes, it is easy and you can do it on your own, but no, I am not telling you it's fast. It is not fast. Link building is a non-stop effort. Going forward, if you want to rank on Google, this should always be a part of your marketing efforts. If for any reason you don't have time to do it yourself, we do offer an easy solution for you to do it, or an easy solution for you to do this. So let's go ahead and without further ado, let's dive in. Link building tip number 1, just ask. Ask for a link. This is probably one of the easiest yet most overlooked ways of getting free links from trusted websites. I want you to imagine this. Do you donate $1,000 or more to a charity? If so, you would honestly be surprised at how many of them would gladly put a link on a page that acknowledges their large donors. Especially, folks, if you're giving away $5,000 and $10,000, no one is going to be offended that you ask for a link. Just call and ask. By the way, don't hesitate to tell them why you're doing it. You're trying to let Google know that it helps Google recognize that you're a trusted source. And you love to get links from not just .coms, but .org sites, charitable organizations, and .edus, educational, and so forth. Do you sell a lot of someone's product or service? For example, window companies usually sell someone else's brand like Anderson or maybe Pella. Roofers use brands like GAF shingles. Call these manufacturers and ask them to link to your website identifying you as a supplier. And again, I don't think you should hesitate to tell them the deeper reason behind it. You are a supplier, you're selling, who knows, I don't know, $50,000, $100,000 a year of their product. You could use the link. It helps you to rank better on Google. And what happens when you rank better? You sell more of their product. So it's definitely a win-win situation. Do you have friends that own websites? Maybe you know college kids that have blog pages. Again, ask. Asking for links is as simple as a phone call. This is gravy, and it does not get easier than that. Link building tip number 2. Produce informative or interesting visual assets. These are diagrams, they're infographics, they're charts and visual-oriented pieces of content. These things are extremely easy for others to link to. Folks, for example, when you publish a chart on your site, you can easily get a link from a social media channel. Anytime someone shares that chart on their site or on their social media channel. Social media has made getting links to good viral content easier than ever. Tip number 3, produce good content, produce case studies, produce good research. Are you a trusted authority on a certain subject? Can people rely on your knowledge? People such as bloggers love to link to good content, especially if it supports a case that they're trying to make. They might want to cite your content. When someone cites your data, they link to you. And these links add up fast. I call this one here the review ego technique. Anytime I write an article that mentions someone's company in a positive way, I'm going to send them an email and I'm going to let them know. I don't even ask for a link most times. And however, I still almost always get that link. Here's how I do it, and you can too. Let's say I just attended a marketing conference, or you attended a marketing conference for a roofing company, right? While you're there, you meet with someone, you discover some brand new software. It's the best thing since sliced bread, and it lets you use machine learning to find hundreds of new customers online. I'm making some of this up, but upon your return, you implement that solution, and the customers literally just start rolling in. You're pumped, you're excited. Who wouldn't be, right? And now you decide you want to write a blog post. You're one of the biggest roofing companies in town, and you decide to do a post on that experience. In this post, you're raving about this software and the company that sold it to you. You literally are bragging endlessly about how awesome this product is. What do you think will happen when you email that company and tell them you wrote a review about how much their software helped you to grow your business? Guys, they probably would not even think twice about linking to their website, linking their website visitors to a testimony that practically closes the deal for them. This is like a recommendation on steroids. They would link to you all day long. You can use this same practice. You stayed in a nice BBB, you ate at a killer restaurant, best food you ever had. If you're a chef, maybe recommending someone, or really anywhere you spend your money and you can write about it where you had an amazing experience. Folks, this is easy. This is all day long something you should be doing. All right. Next tip, link building tip number 5, comment on blogs. Don't get me wrong. These usually are, I don't want to get technical in this video. I'm not trying to confuse people, but these usually do not lead to what are known as do follow links, meaning you want do follow links that Google recognizes. So the alternative is no follow. However, they are an easy way to get a blogger's attention, which can and oftentimes will lead to links from their blog post. Don't comment on your competitor blogs, guys. Don't be silly. They're likely just going to delete it. Find a non-competitive blog posts that are related to your industry or something you recently wrote about. When commenting on their blog posts, don't get spammy. Be helpful, and when appropriate, add a link to your to this post. And that link would point to your article, your infographic, or your video. And if a blogger likes it, he or she just might mention it in a later post. And that link will have real value. And it goes without saying, you should not be commenting on blogs by posting links to boring or uninteresting content. You will literally just hack off these blog page owners. Okay. All right. Number 6, this one is guaranteed to get you links. Submit your site to local listings. You can easily get links by submitting your information to directories like Yelp, Google, Bing, and yellowpages.com. But there are literally thousands of these. You especially want to look for sites that focus on your city and your state. I love local directories. These are super relevant and have a lot fewer submissions. And if you don't have the time to do this, folks, it probably takes 15, 20 minutes for each directory you submit to, and then you got to verify through email, etc. We offer a tool that can submit your website info to over 100 directories with a click of a button. Just look for it on our orders page, which can be found in the main navigation up on our top menu here. Send out a press release. Tip number 8. Did you earn an award? Are you having a big event? Do you have a new product? Or maybe you promoted an employee? Tell the world about it. Push out a press release. Not only does this build some links from trusted websites, but when clients see your article on sites like NBC, ABC, and CBS, Fox, etc., it really helps for reputation building. Don't feel like you can write you don't feel like you can write a press release yourself that'll get accepted. You do have to meet certain standards. We can do it for you. We can write it for you, and we can even submit it for you. This will be picked up by no less than 100 trusted media outlets. And again, you can find this feature if you need it on our order page. Right? Link building tip number 8, write for other people. Consider this. Journalists, they need newsworthy stuff to write about, right? They look forward when someone calling them with a story that will increase their ratings. Maybe there was a huge scandal, a fire. Maybe someone did something that was super charitable. Journalists are thankful for people that contribute great ideas to their efforts. In the same way, every website owner or blogger, they need traffic. The way they get traffic is by publishing good content for their audience to read. I get submissions all the time. Mr. Signer, will you publish this article? We wrote one. If it's unique content and I like it and it's good, you're darn right I'm going to post it. Someone just did all the work for me. This is a golden opportunity for you to write a high quality piece of content for them to publish on their website. And keep in mind, if you want the article picked up, it better be darn good. I'm not saying people are just going to pick up junk. It needs to be darn good, and it needs to be relevant to their readers. For example, let's just say someone owned a website that promoted all kinds of healthy alternatives. If I discovered some new research that proved that taking more than 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C was adversely impacting someone's health, well, then I'd write about it. By the way, I don't really know that that's the case. I'm making that up. But I would write about that. That's something the health guru would want to talk about. Ideally, I'd write probably at least 1,000-word article. I don't try to make it too short. The way to benefit from this is by adding a link into the article that points to a page on your website. Now, of course, the link, it must naturally fit, right? You'll obviously also want to link out to other sources that support your article. So to get the article picked up, you may need to submit it to, I don't know, 10, 20, maybe even 30 different website owners. When possible, I'd even pick up the phone. Some people are so afraid of the phone, but I pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, sent you an article. Just want to make sure you got it. Got my email. See if you have any questions for me that I can answer. Again, if you apply yourself to it, this is easy, but it's very time consuming as well. But if you stick to this, you can earn a lot of quality links. And as with content creation, you'll also need to do this continually. I'll admit, most people would rather run their company than build links, okay? If you need help with guest posting solutions, again, we can help you with that. Just visit our order page. So a lot of this stuff you can do. It's a decision you have to make. Do you have time? And is it more affordable, and does it make more sense to outsource to somebody? You make that decision. I'm still going to help you. The $1 million question: how many links will it take to rank number 1? And before I even attempt to answer that, let me emphasize again, if your content is thin or boring, there's probably no amount of links that are going to get you into the top spots. Assuming you do have good content, then the answer to this question still remains very difficult to address, at least by honest people. In fact, I'd say no one can give you an exact number. That's because, as I shared earlier, aside from Google's ever-changing algorithms, all links have different value, and there are dozens of other variables that you need to consider. Other things to consider would be things like user intent. You know, what Google looks at their keyword says, what do I think they are intending to find? What question are they trying to get answered? Google wants to provide that person with the best possible web page to answer their question. Your on-page optimization, do you have your title tags right, your alt tags, et cetera, et cetera? Your content's relevance to the query. Historical click-through rates on your website. Do people bounce, or do they click through your website? Do they like what they're reading? How fast does the web page load? It absolutely matters. Your site's mobile friendliness. If someone's on Googling on mobile, on their mobile device, and your page isn't mobile friendly, forget about it. They're not going to show it to those people. Maybe on desktop, but not for mobile. Is your site SSL secure? It stands for Secure Sockets Layer. Is it protected? Does it protect other people's data and information that they might put into your site? I don't want all that to scare people away from link building. No matter what, you need links to rank for competitive terms. And you also need to know that one great link can easily be worth more than 1,000 crappy links. I've seen that most people just keep building links, right? When they're trying to figure out how many to get to number one, they just keep building links. And as long as they continue to move up in the rankings, well, they just stick to it. But if you're like me, maybe you want some kind of tool to measure it by. Then I suggest using Ahrefs, Ahrefs. This tool it'll run you about $1,200 a year. And it's usually used by digital marketing agencies because it's not very cheap. And again, it's more of an SEO type tool, but you can use it for this. Here's what you'll do once you buy the software, which can be done at ahrefs.com. Once you buy their keyword tool, first you just type in the keywords that you are trying to rank for. The tool will tell you on average how many links it will take to get you on page one. So they've used a major algorithm to measure this stuff. This is a great tool in my opinion. Is it foolproof, spot on? No. Again, an average of how many links you're going to need to get your content on page one. As you can see in this image, Ahrefs can also help you look at the ranking pages to see the mixture of values. So now let's just say that you need an average of 35 links to rank on the first page of Google for your keywords. Side note, I do want to say the 35 links would point to the page that you're attempting to rank better. I'm not saying don't point all these to your homepage. You need a nice mix. If the links are low in authority, you may need actually as much as 75 to 100 links. If the links are high in authority, you may only need 5, 10, or maybe 20 links to move to the first page, if not number one in Google. While all internet marketing agencies would agree that building quality links is a major component of Google's ranking factors, and I do mean major component, if not the major one, it's only the honest marketing companies that will tell you no one controls Google and no one knows exactly how many links it will take to get the job done. But bottom line, if you're serious about ranking in Google, you do need to get busy building your links. Now, a few warnings about buying spammy links from sleazy salespeople, right? We get it. We start understanding the importance of links, and boy, man, if we won't go try to find the cheapest solution possible. So we need a few warnings about this guy. Here he is, the cheap link sleazy salesman. Most people don't know this, but rewind a little more than like 10 years ago, and anybody could rank in Google by getting the cheapest links money could buy. You literally could spend $100 and get 1,000 automated links on roughly fake websites that's only purpose was to sell links for ranking. Hear me clearly, please, guys. Those days are long gone. Let me be clear. Google is not stupid. Do not even consider trying this today. If you do, it is possible you will find yourself irreversibly blacklisted from major search engines. Spammy links will fail you 100% of the time. There is no such thing as cheap link building when you're having someone else do the work for you. There are many sleazy websites that will try to sell you on the idea that you can drop $50 in exchange. They'll hook you up with a ton of links. You've been warned. Don't get conned by any link selling con artist. There are no shortcuts. Link building takes time, it takes effort, and you need links from real, true sites with real content by humans. You will not, you can quote me on this, you will not fool Google. All right, do it yourself or outsource. If you've watched both our content creation video and this link building video in full, you literally have everything you need to start generating hundreds, if not thousands, of high intent sales leads. Most importantly, should you outsource it, all of it or even some of it, you now have the knowledge to make sure you're getting what you pay for. So the question is now, should you outsource it or should you do it yourself? All right, if you do it yourself or hire an employee to do it, you need to set aside around 30 to 40 hours a week for marketing. Alternatively, we can write your content, build your links for a small fraction of what you pay a full-time employee, or pay a fully, or for that matter, what you would pay for a fully managed SEO solution. All you have to do is go to our order page and tell us what you need. This would only require about 1 hour a week, right? Most of which would be you, if you chose to, finding the topics, which again, watch our content our video, and because I do recommend that you do this, but it would be you finding contents that you want us to write about, or we can choose them for you. And if by chance you decide or you don't have the time and you can't afford our services, then just do what you can. Even if it means writing one article a week and building one link a month, do something, folks. Think of it like working out. It's better to walk slowly for 1/2 mile a day than do no exercise at all. And as you get healthier, you will eventually be able to walk further and faster. In that same way, if you just start pumping out even a little bit of content, earning a couple of links, yes, it will take longer, but if you stick to it, it may take you 1.5 or 2 years, guys. I don't know. It depends how slow you're moving. But if you stick with it, you will eventually see more traffic, more leads, and ultimately more revenue. All right, do it yourself versus partial do it yourself versus managed SEO. I want to just close with just talking about which solution is right for you. We'll make this very simple and why. So a fully managed SEO solution costs around, and this, we're talking about us here. I don't know about others. I think some might charge a little more, but they're usually between $3,500 and $5,000 a month. What you'll get for that is 100% hands-off solution. We do everything. We do all the research. We produce all the variable kinds of content. We do all the variable kinds of link building. You get crystal clear reporting, a dedicated account manager. The pros to this are you have full access to our experts. Everything we did to build 400,000 leads a year, we're going to employ those same practices on your website. So the cons of that are it costs more. I'm not going to kid you. We're doing a whole lot of work and you're completely, you get to just run your business. Average time for this, guys, have I seen it work in 3 months? Yeah, but usually you're talking 4 to 6 months. And by that time, you can usually see quantifiable results that you can feel comfortable knowing that it's going to work for you. All right, then there's partial DIY, partial do-it-yourself solutions. So a partial DIY is essentially we're doing the work, but you don't have a dedicated manager. You're literally just going to our order page and you're putting your inputs into our order page and ordering content and press releases, etc. And guest post services by filling your inputs. That cost, it's going to average between $1,200 and $2,200 a month. So it's way less than a managed SEO solution, but almost the same thing. And I don't have time to get into all the reasons why you're pretty much getting the same thing, but spending a whole lot less. But what you get is mostly hands-off. You're literally just placing the orders. You average 8. We usually will produce 8 articles that are at least 1,000 words. Sometimes they're 500, depends on what type of stuff we're targeting. You'll get 3 to 4 guest posts a month. This is what we usually recommend you order, and probably 1 press release a month on various topics. The pros to this is we do most of the work. We're still pretty much doing all the work. You're just placing the order. But it's probably less than 50% of what you pay for a fully managed SEO solution with all the reporting, all the phone calls. We're not going to have hour-long phone calls at this price, guys. You're not going to be getting the extensive detailed reporting, but you'll know. You can look at your Google Analytics. You know if you're getting more leads. You know if you're getting more traffic. You know if you're making more money. This is not a mystery to most people. So the average time for this is going to take somewhere between 5 to 7 months. Again, have I seen it happen sooner? Yes, but we like to play it safe. You should expect to see some kind of results that are quantifiable to justify your expense 5 to 7 months. Lastly, the full do-it-yourself plan costs nothing. You're doing all the work unless you, what you get out of this is it's not really applicable because we're not doing anything. You get what you put into it. The pros on this are it's a cost-free solution. You move at your own pace, at your own budget as it will allow. The downside is you're going to have to work 30 to 40 hours a week, or honestly, hire an employee, which I guess is going to cost you around $3,500 a month, plus benefits, plus they're whining and calling in sick. You guys, this is why we outsource so many things, because we don't want to deal with the headaches if we don't have to. Average time, 5 to 10 months, and that's assuming that you're actually doing something. I say 10 months for a guy who's not coasting. You got to work, you got to work, you got to work. I said it in the beginning of this video. This is not going to be something you can just write, sit down for an hour, write something, some content, and all done magically. Now we're outranking everybody. You guys are smart, and if you're a business owner, that is not realistic at all. So now, folks, as I promised, you really do have everything you need to build links and get tons of leads from Google. So go do it. Don't make excuses. If you want us to help, that's fine. You can just click on the Order Now button on our website or the order page, and your journey to success begins, right? Just do something. So in closing, we appreciate you guys joining us today. I want you to be sure and follow us for more exciting training videos. We've got a lot of DIY things coming up, broken down by industry. And if you do this, we'll help keep you in the lead. And until then, good luck. We will be here when you need.